Okay, so we're back in what is probably the most violent and crazy prison I've ever made. It's very, very violent every day. But I'm starting to get the prisoner count up a little bit. We've got 9 hours until 63 more prisoners come in. We're currently sitting at 595 for blue, 585 for green, and 553 for red after the last intake, which took forever to get here because we had a lot of deliveries. Deliveries is starting to get taken care of. I'm gonna go like this really quick. Get rid of this access delivery area. I had to expand deliveries temporarily because I did something that I think will help the violence problem. At least I'm hoping it will. And so far, it seems to be taming it a little bit. We're getting less deaths per day now, less people acting up per day. I know for those of you who've been sitting in the live chat for a little bit, it may not look like there's less violence yet, but there actually is. There's less violence than there was. And this is because I have decided that every single cell is going to have a radio now. And what better place to place a radio than right on the showers? So, there you go. Right on the showers. Except there's still a couple of places where there isn't ones because I've missed them, so. So every cell, at least until when the workmen finally get on it and actually do it all, every cell will have a radio under the shower. That'll be great. That'll be great. These are our special waterproof radios. Guaranteed not to fry your brain or your cell or any part of you while you are currently wet in the shower. So hopefully that helps a bit. We also have a ton of workmen that are just doing nothing now because I brought them all in to take care of the radio problem. I don't need 237 workmen anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire a bunch again. Stop killing each other! These are supposed to help you! Although these guys don't have the radios yet. Like, the workmen are slowly getting on it, but it looks like they've forgotten a lot of these radios. Because I've put radios in all these cells, and it doesn't look like they've done it. I'm gonna pause it really quick. I've put radios in all these cells. It looks like they've ignored it. Unless I forgot one wing. Oh, did I forget? Oh, I forgot this side. Okay, so some of these guys have it. Some of these guys have it, but like this whole side over here doesn't have it. I forgot these guys. We'll just go like this. All the way down. I will just put in all these radios again, which means we're gonna crowd the roads with delivery trucks again. I got lots of guards to deal with it. I got a lot less guards now than I had at the start of the stream though. I had 1,100 guards. Now I have 900. So a lot of these deaths are guards, not prisoners. Which I'd prefer it, if there's anybody that's gonna die, I'd prefer it to be guards. I know it sounds weird, but I'd prefer it to be guards so that I can keep growing my prisoner population. See, I went and fired all those workmen, and then I introduced more radios. So now I need those radios to be taken care of all over again. So everybody pick a radio and go. Pretty much. Just everybody take something and go to the cells. There you go. There you go. Off with the radios. There you go. Get them installed. Ayahuasca has just chosen this corner cell. I made this corner cell with a weight bench just to kind of give it a little more attractiveness, and the gang leader instantly just, they all traded. It's like the person that was in here left and the gang leader got in here. So like this guy, he gets the window and the weight bench and all, like the leader gets that. Ayahuasca has good command over his gang in the sense that he has, at least they know their place, right? At least they know that Pizza Man gets the good cell, right? The other two gangs, not so much. So let's see what happens if I put a weight bench in here. And a window. We'll see what see if the gang leader moves into this cell. And then we'll do the same thing with another one. We'll see if that gets the gang leader to move into it. Missed an awful lot of cells over here with these radios. It's because, like, most of the time when I was doing these radios, I had the game continue to run, and with the skipping and the glitching, the performance issues, my mouse would hover over the square, but it wouldn't actually click before I moved off of the square, and I'd have little gaps where I don't have radios. And then I started getting smarter, and I started doing it while paused, which is obviously, like, gonna lead to everything working smoothly again. Charlie just advocated the deaths of corrections officers. In this particular prison, under this particular instance, I would rather corrections officers die than prisoners. But only within this game, on this map only. Because I want my prisoner count to go up, you know? That's what I'm looking for. You can just tell them to move cells. Yeah, I can't tell them to move cells. Like, they are going to move themselves. Like, I can click them and say, go in that cell, but it's only a temporary thing. They'll eventually do what they want. Look at all my solitary. There is a point. Okay, so I let this go overnight. I thought maybe, just maybe, I will wake up and I'll have enough prisoners to close down intake and we can get this going. And my naivety, right? I just decided, I think this will work. So last night, I set this thing on 3 times speed. I put the map just like this. And I left the intake on max. And I went to bed. And I thought, you know, I think I'm going to go ahead. And I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning. And one of 2 things is going to be true. Either I'm going to wake up to having a whole lot of prisoners in this prison. And everything will be awesome. Or I will wake up to what remains of absolute complete chaos. That's the one of the 2 things that'll happen. Which one do you think happened? I'll give you a hint. I noticed this thing over here. See how it says 43 dead bodies? How it says 43 dead bodies? When I woke up this morning, it said 1,800 dead bodies. 1,800. This area here was all dead people. All through here was all dead people. This was all dead people here. All up into here, and into here, and into here was all dead people. And then we had intake buses. And I had prisoners that were intaked all the way stacked. All the way up like this. And they were all dead. They all starved. So a gang leader, basically, got in trouble. Prisoner counts were about, I think the highest gang was like 300 members. So even by leaving intake the whole time, if you leave the thing completely unattended, they will just eventually kill themselves off completely. And all the gang leaders were in trouble. So all of the gang leaders were in lockdown and awaiting solitary. And you know, none of them were being forgiven. And since most of the guards were dead, it was absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. But the gang numbers, as far as who was left over, was fairly even. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I also like this. There's such a big lag in the game now that you can hire the guards, and when you unpause it, then they get their body armor. Little bits at a time, they start to get their body armor. That's kind of interesting too. I wish I could do a friendship circle. That's what these buildings are supposed to be. Like, these buildings are supposed to be friendship circles, where they can do whatever they want with only their own gang, and they don't have to kill each other, right? Look at this. There's 168 people in the yard right now. That's what we're supposed to see. They're able to come in here, use the phones. I've added phones inside the canteens. I've added 2 phone booths here and here, as well as inside here, and then all along the hallways as well. So they have lots of phones they can use now, as well as all these radios to help keep them cool. Like, help to keep them, you know, chill is what I mean. Their temperature of their emotions on ice. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. To chill the hell out. I'm gonna leave it in the description of this YouTube video as well. Hi, YouTube. In the description, there's a poll asking you guys how you'd like me to spend my Fridays. My Fridays are kind of up in the air right now, and I'm not sure whether or not I'm gonna be able to, like, I have to find a balance to maintain. So in the live chat right now, there is a post regarding the poll. You can see it there. If you want to answer that, you can. It requires you to have a Patreon account, but it doesn't, if you want to put your input on there in the poll, it requires you to have a Patreon account, but you do not have to be a patron to leave your opinion. Requiring an account is just to prevent people from voting multiple times. Because people have started getting around my IP checking. Damn VPNs. So if you guys want, there's a poll there. In a nutshell, though, if you're like wondering what it is without wanting to go and click through it, I'm gonna have XCOM. We're doing Long War 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. Divinity Original Sin 2 is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7, so it's a really long day. Tuesdays and Thursdays are really long stream days. Wednesdays, Prison Architect, and that's it. And then my Fridays are kind of this up in the air thing. I can get a lot of progress done on Conquering KSP if I don't stream at all on Fridays and just focus on just that. I can probably put a good 6 hours every Friday into it, which would be really nice for the series. It would get consistently updated then on YouTube, which would be really healthy for it. But if I do that, I have to drop Surviving Mars. And a lot of people will want Mars to continue. So there's an option to maybe go 50-50 with it, to where we have like a 4-hour Mars stream and then I do another 3 hours on KSP or something. There's an option where I stream KSP, so we could use Fridays as a way of playing KSP still and still doing 5 or 6 hours, but I stream it, which will slow it down because the footage I'm gonna have for that, I don't know if it's gonna be as easy for me to focus on the actual build and focus on everything if I'm also streaming it. And I don't want to stream if I can't be interactive. I don't want to stream if I can't be constantly like looking at chat and kind of like responding to people. And then I also wanted to start a RimWorld colony as well, right? I wanted to play RimWorld again, but I can't do all three. I can't. I guaranteed we'll be doing KSP in some capacity. Whether I do it on stream or offline is kind of up in the air right now. But it's sort of like this thing where it's like, do I keep going with Mars? Do I play RimWorld instead of Mars? Do I just do nothing but KSP and really ramp that series up and get it going again? I don't know. That's why I'm kind of leaving it up to you guys. So if you have an opinion, the poll is in the chat. And if there's an option there that you don't see, like somebody already said that they don't care about KSP, they'd rather see RimWorld than Surviving Mars, which is not likely something I will do. But knowing that there are somebody out there who wants that instead, thanks for good input. Thank you. I probably won't be doing that because I care too much about KSP to do that. And then I also thought, if I can get regular updates on Conquering KSP, I thought it might be interesting to get back into Realism Overhaul and try out the realism, like mod the game all up 1.5, 1.6, and get the latest versions of everything and just do Realism Overhaul as a stream thing. Once Gang War's done, we could have Wednesdays be that or something. Or I want to do Chrono Trigger too. I told Mike I was going to do Chrono Trigger. I'm still interested in Chrono Trigger, so I need to also have that. But that's going to be on the schedule when something is done. I'm not going to spread myself too thin. And I can't stream Mondays anymore. Mondays are completely off the table. There might be periods where I have to cancel Fridays anyway, so Fridays aren't even going to be consistent. So if I am going to be streaming Fridays, it won't necessarily be every Friday. It's going to be week to week on that because I have work to do. But right now, my Tuesdays and Thursdays, I can block those off. I have enough sort of going for me in terms of stream support where I can justify having 2 days a week as just this. So I'll be doing that for Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Wednesdays are kind of tight. Like today's pretty tight, but if I keep my streams on Wednesdays to like 5 hours or less, then it should still work out okay. Already voted when I saw it coming up. Love Surviving Mars. Don't like KSP myself, so it's an easy choice. So there you go. There are some people who don't. That'll happen. I think it used to be the majority of my following were KSP fans. And when I varietied myself out, I also brought in a ton of people who have no interest in that game. And so now it's like up in the air as to what's best for channel wise, but I will continue KSP regardless. I just don't know if it's something I should stream or if it's something I should just do offline. But if I'm gonna do it offline, I also have to be able to have time offline to do it, which could be good for like Fridays, not streaming on Fridays, basically. KSP is complicated. It's love. KSP is love. KSP is love. And I've made it a lot more complicated too, because I've modded it all out, and it's got a lot of complex systems in place on my playthrough that aren't in the base game. You have to go party on Friday sometimes too. Don't burn out. Oh, I don't party. Like, I'd love to party, but I don't party. But if I was gonna party, it'd be at night. And like my stream would be during the day. I'm a dad now, so partying doesn't really happen that often. It's easy just to take Mondays and Fridays off. Yeah, I mean, if the thing is though, like if I take Mondays and Fridays off, now I'm streaming 3 days a week. I'm not sure how many people grow their stream. Like how many people can grow on Twitch streaming just 3 days a week? I don't know. I guess it depends if you're doing things people like. Look at this performance, man. It's like 2 frames a second. I think we gotta call it. I think I gotta call it and just say we're not getting to 1,000. Just purely on game performance. I don't think we can do it. The only way would be to reduce the number of guards I have. Or reduce other staff. If I reduce other staff, it's possible, but like this is like 2 frames a second right now. There's just too many prisoners here. I'm gonna fire a bunch of workers. And then we have some workers who are on the outside of the fence. Their pathing is totally broken. So like all the way down here, these guys are totally broken. Whoops. All right, pause this. I can't move. Here we go. Sack these guys. Get rid of all the guards and open the floodgates. So I can't get rid of all the guards. And people aren't necessarily here for every stream, so I get it. We've talked about it a couple of times already. I can't remove all the guards. Because they're needed for essential things like transporting prisoners to the med bay. Things like that, and transporting them to their cells when they're in trouble. Getting them out of the kitchen if they're gonna go kill the cooks. I have to be able to somehow maintain order, but I will be reducing the guard presence by about 60%. So it will go from the 900 guards we have now. We have almost 1,000 guards, actually. It says 1,100 here, but it's counting the snipers and the dogs and stuff, actually. We probably have too many. We don't even need this many snipers. I probably don't need this many dogs either, to be honest. Well, you know, I said Red Gang was being pretty mild and well-behaved, but I perhaps spoke a bit too soon. And the game has died, yeah. The game is dying. I don't think we can get to 1,000. So what I might do... Let's try this. Let's make a compromise on this. We'll turn the gang war on right now. We'll let them start taking territory, start fighting, but we'll keep intake on at the same time. And as they start to dwindle their numbers, we'll keep replacing them until we think there's been about 1,000 brought in. Hang on, there's a riot. 590. 590 is red. 590 is red. Where is red leader? Probably out the door. Yeah, he tried to get out. He made a run for it. Uncle Skeezer! 14 years. Uncle Skeezer, thank you for that amazing, outstanding, unbelievable tier 3, 14 months in a row. That is just super crazy, man. You're one of a kind. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. You're awesome. 14 months is insane. I still can't believe I've been streaming for 18. Like, and there are some people who are gonna have, we have the 2-year badge, by the way. If you're new to Twitch, or maybe you're just new to the channel, you have badges, right? For certain, you have a badge next to your name that changes colors as depending on how long you've been subbed and all that stuff. The 2-year badge is uploaded. It's big and pink. It's a big pink hat. Popular request. They wanted it pink. You got it pink. We don't have badges, we have hats. Well, you have hats. Fine. In that case, yeah, you have hats. And, Jesus. Can I have the riot go away, please? Go away, riot. Go away. That's a good compromise, I think, is if we start the war now, but we keep intake on. That way they can start getting rid of each other at the same rate we bring them in, and then we could say that, you know, we could be like, hey, I think it's pretty likely we've had about 1,000 per gang now, you know? Because they've killed each other a lot, but they haven't really killed each other. They're killing themselves. Like, blue is doing actions that cause blue to die. And if I can start the actual war part, then they can start really competing with each other. And then your guys' commands can start... You can start doing a lot more with your commands if you want to. Locking down one prisoner for a temporary period of time doesn't really do a whole lot. But saying, hey, those 2 common rooms right there, those are minimum security only common rooms now. Oh, are they? Okay. I'll let you have that for 3 days. You know, things like that. You can like say, hey, you know, that gang could take over that territory if it wants, but they're not allowed in there now, so. Or you could take a territory that Red Gang owns and say, hey, that one's staff only now, and then just, there it is, staff only. So, I think we'll do that. I think it's time to start this, because these guys are just getting anxious. They're doing all this crap that is causing them to, well, die. And I can't, the game is reaching its limits, so if I can somehow get them prisoners to start dying at the same time I bring them in, I think that's probably what we'll do. So let's try this. We have 10 hours until the next intake. The next intake will mark the start of the war. We'll take workers. I'll make sure there's 80 workers. Guards, we're going to reduce the guard numbers by... let's start out with like 200 down, so we'll go down to about... Let's go down to 900. And I'm not going to bother with whether or not they have tasers or not. Okay, so we've reduced the number of guards. It's something. It's not a lot of reduction, but it's something. And then what we'll do is we'll start opening this up as soon as we get the intake. So 9 hours from now, we'll start opening it up for intake. And that'll be good. Redeem gang war, blood for the blood god. I don't know how... I don't know how to blood for the blood god. I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to leave and just say, hi, chicken. Welcome in, and thanks for putting the command on its 10-minute cooldown. Just don't station guards around. I would like to do that. But just for a second, I'm not going to yet. But we're going to open these areas up. So tomorrow morning, they'll be able to access these areas. For the regime, I have 3 hours of free time right now. I'm going to extend this to being like this. So they have more time to take over territory if they want to. And we'll do... I think we'll do jobs in here now too. So let's open this up. We'll station, let's say, 10 guards in here. And we'll go with prison labor. We'll get some prisoners to work here. And then we'll turn this to be shared. So they can work in here now. We'll go shared on all these common rooms. So we'll open this up. This is going to get opened up too, as well as all of these. These are opened up now. We should see a lot of violence. Still have lots of violence. Look at all the mail we have to search. This is a waste of time. I wish I could cancel this area. One of the things I think Prison Architect needs is selective shakedowns. Like, I wish I could have a button where I was like, shakedown cells only. That way I wouldn't have to go through all this mail. Because this mail is already... Like, this is all in a staff-only environment, and it's gone through several metal detectors already to get through here, as well as dogs in the room. So, like, it's highly unlikely anything is in here. But yet, this is taking up work projects. I wish there would be a shakedown button where it would only shake down the cells. Bringing in 66, I would hope that that puts red over 600. I can't imagine this intake doesn't put red over 600. So we'll keep intaking until we think red has had, you know... It's going to be hard to keep track of that. You guys are going to have to help me out. And, like, I don't know how you can keep track of it. It's obviously going to be a rough estimate. But what we want is for Red Gang to reach 1,000. And then if red gang reaches 1,000, we are pretty sure everyone else has 2. So I want them to not fight in this canteen. I want them to stop fighting each other and my guards and start fighting over here. But if I don't have guards in here, then they will organize a mass escape attempt and they will all come out the door, and then we'll have to fight them all out here, and that will be worse. Because all the gangs together will be doing this. We'll have to deal with like 1,000 people right here. And that's not gonna happen. So I'm just kind of getting a little less in here, right? And if these guys kill the guards, then they kill the guards, but they're less likely to get taken out themselves. They're already destroying metal detectors and all sorts of other crap. It's their free time right now. So they can come in, they can come through here. This should be open for everybody. Yeah. This is all open for everybody. They can come right into these common rooms if they want to. There's nothing stopping them. They can come in here if they want to. It doesn't mean they're going to, because they're busy fighting each other again. But if they want to come in here and take territory, they absolutely can. And it looks like the Red Gang is on it. Red Gang's on it right now. They're smarter. They're getting in on this right away. Look at this. They're all coming in this way. They're not going to fight each other like blue. They're not going to be stupid, right? They're not going to really hinder their ability to get a good start. Their Red Gang's coming in right now, and they're like, yeah, man, we're doing it now. Oh, it looks like Green's pretty smart too. I'm kind of tempted to see, like, are they gonna fight in this hallway? Like, everyone's coming in, no shirts. All the shirtless guys just single file now, claim your territory, single file. Come here. Make your way into the free time. Make your way into the common rooms. Oh, this is dangerous. This is risky. This is a bit risky. He's going right through all the enemy. Blue leader. Blue leader has got guts. He's got some major guts. Nobody's got a hit on him though. Nobody's gonna touch him yet. Okay. All right, let's see what kind of mayhem we start causing here. We got some violence. We do have guards in here to help with it a little bit. I think I'm actually gonna take the guards out of here. I'm gonna let them do what they want. Let's get the guards out of here. Not in the common rooms. Yeah, we got some violence happening here. There's only a few guards to handle all the rooms, so a lot of deaths. Look at the kills. Look at the kills. Because Blue Gang was an idiot and decided to get themselves all immobilized, right? These guys decided to hash away at it. But, was it really being dumb? Because nobody got territory, because there's all contested, and even though these guys have a ton of kills, they also exclusively killed each other. So now Blue Gang has 100 more people than Red, because they didn't go after the territory, but they also didn't die.